Tom Kean exemplified bipartisan leadership and inclusive politics, earning him a reputation as one of the most beloved governors in New Jersey history.
It's been 40-some years since he was elected. He probably is still the most popular governor in my lifetime.
Ladies and gentlemen, the governor of the state of New Jersey, Thomas H. Kean.
He won by the narrowest of margins in 1981, and 4 years later, by the greatest of margins.
567 municipalities in the state of New Jersey. He actually won 99.8%, 566.
And he ran a great urban campaign, door to door in Atlantic City. And he worked very closely with members of the Democratic Party in the urban areas, the mayors especially.
When he got into office in '81, we discussed that we were going to broaden the party, bring minorities into the party, but not just for political reasons. We were looking to promote equality, to promote fairness. And by 1985, with New Jersey having the Martin Luther King Day before the national holiday, Coretta Scott King came in and endorsed him. He was the only Republican governor that she had ever endorsed, and she told them that she was going to do it, and Martin would have wanted her to do it.
His ethical standards, his standard of inclusiveness in bringing people together, he is really the essence of a public servant. It's a quality that we don't always get these days, and he wanted to make things better than he found them.
Education and the environment were extremely important cabinet posts because they were special areas of interest for the governor, and he paid particular attention to them.
He increased teacher pay significantly, which I think made a real difference to those families and to the quality of the educators that we could attract.
Urban education was every bit as important as suburban education. He felt passionately about education for all the kids in the state.
Well, as governor, Tom Kean was very focused on education, and he put a lot of money into education, primary and secondary, as well as the universities. He was ahead of his time in many ways, especially protecting the environment. And establishment of the Department of Environmental Protection was very much part of that legacy.
He had a long track record of support for the environment. He was involved in the conservation efforts before that time.
So there was a great appreciation for protecting the water and the air in the state, but also in recognizing that you could do that while not damaging private businesses in the state. So he was, I think, the first governor who found the balance between those two things.
The governor often talked about protecting the sacredness of New Jersey, the environment. And I remember having conversations about the Highlands. I mean, the Highlands were where 50% of New Jersey's drinking water came. So, I mean, the Highlands preservation came from a conversation with Governor Kean.
He wrote a book called The Politics of Inclusion, but it wasn't just a book. Before it was a book, it was him.
The politics of inclusion is a pretty good way to go when you're in office. And Governor Kean is one of the few that has succeeded on both levels. Loved at the time he was in office and loved in the aftermath. And I think the politics of inclusion had a lot to do with that.
Tom has very strong values. He has an empathy for people, all people. And it doesn't make any difference where you came from, what your skin color is, what your politics are. So whatever audience you put him with, he could relate to him, and he'd walk out and everybody give him a slap on the back, you're one of us.
Throughout my career, I had the extraordinary privilege of working with a number of very talented people. And right at the top of that list is Governor Tom Kean. His legacy is one of accomplishments, but also of mentoring. There are a number of people like me who have benefited from learning from his leadership. His example reminds us of what public service should be.
But Governor Kean was about doing the job well, getting it done. There's no Republican or Democratic way to fill a pothole. The pothole is either filled or it's not. And that was Governor Kean's approach.
And I don't want people to misunderstand what a great political operator he was. He worked really hard in the nuts and bolts of politics. This is tough work, and it's frustrating work sometimes, but he never gave up on it.
One of the realities of Governor Kean is he is a very good politician, as well as being a very good person.
But Tom Kean, for me, represents the gold standard of governorship. His decency, his ethics, his leadership, his commitment to always do the right thing.